Is abortion okay? Abortion. That's the subject. Is it okay? Are you okay with abortion? Now, let me say this to all that are watching right now. There are some of you that may be watching that have never experienced abortion, either being the father of the aborted child or the mother who aborted the child. So, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to those who might be considering having an abortion. I'm talking to those who have already had an abortion. And I want to tell you from Brother Teacher, it's murder. It is cold blooded murder. Now, this is a very sensitive and or delicate subject with a lot of women, particularly women who have been molested and or raped. And I understand fully. I can't feel your experience per se. I can't feel the pain or the anguish that you experience through that ordeal. But what I do know is this: the facts are the facts. If you have an abortion, you are killing another human being. Now, I know there are those of you who say, or you want to rationalize and say, it's not a human being. Then why are you at the abortion clinic then, if it's not? See, let's get down to the brass tacks and let's be for real. You see, we have this awesome habit of trying to dress up the truth with a lie, with our own viewpoint, and not being honest with ourselves. There have been women who have had unprotected sex with men, didn't think they were going to get pregnant, and they did. There have been women who have sex or have had sex with men who the men were supposed to have had a condom and the condom broke and they ended up pregnant anyway. There have been women who have been on birth control pills and IUDs and various other types of preventative birth control methods and still got pregnant anyway. There are women who have thought that they were not susceptible to getting pregnant because of the way their period fell, who got pregnant anyway. It does not matter how you got pregnant, but you got pregnant or impregnated. What matters is that grave situation, that grave decision that you must even make after you find out that you are. It shouldn't be any devastation knowing that you're pregnant. What are you devastated by? Why are you so overwhelmed with being pregnant when you didn't have a problem having sex? You knew what the possibilities are, and even if you never thought them through all of the way, it's not the fault of the child. It's your fault. It's never the fault of the innocent one. And I am a victim, I would say, in hindsight, of abortion. My first wife, God rest her soul now, she had an abortion when we were both young, after our first child. I was adamantly, vehemently against the abortion. But between her and her mother, she made a decision to have the abortion without my consent. And after she had the abortion, she became remorseful. She resented the fact that she did, and she was upset. She was hurt, and she wanted me to console her. That was very difficult because I had already expressed my view, and that was simply that I didn't believe in taking a life, especially the life of a child, an innocent child at that. So I became sort of cold during that period of time. And it was painful to me because that was my child. That would have been my second child. And what is ironic is that we had 4 children after that. Go figure. So I am a victim, and I have experienced it from the father's standpoint, having an abortion. And I know women personally who have had abortions, and I've seen videos of women who have had abortions who were vehemently against keeping the child, and after they had the abortion they went through some psychological changes and emotional changes, and they were hurt and devastated, and they wanted consolation. They want somebody to come to them and wrap their arms around them after they had already aborted the child. Go figure that one out. You see, sometimes people do things for convenience because it doesn't fit my lifestyle. I don't want any children right now. I can't afford to have a child to take care of. How am I going to raise this child? I'm by myself. The father has left, and so on and so forth. No matter what excuse you manufacture, that child is not to be held accountable. That child is still innocent. Now, touching on the aspect of what part of development that child is, if you have conceived, conception is when the father's sperm fertilizes your egg. That's conception. You can call it 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, all the way into birth. When the child leaves the birthing canal, you can say that that's life. But life is when the child was conceived within the mother's womb. That is when that life began. Because if it were not true, and if you were true to yourself, you would say, if it was not alive, then why am I sitting in this clinic or laying in this clinic having these people kill something inside me? What is the purpose of me paying that $400 or $500 cash money to have this procedure done? So you pay this money to have this procedure done, and it's okay for the doctor. If it was up to them, they have abortions all day long. This is not just, we're trying to protect the mother. There's a possibility the mother's health could be in jeopardy, so we have to have this procedure done. There are, however, and I want you to understand me very well when I say this, I do understand that there are extenuating circumstances. As I said, I do understand that there are extenuating circumstances where the woman may have been raped and that you don't want to carry that child because it's traumatic to you. You know, the fact that you have to carry the perpetrator's child within your womb, I understand that. In that situation, that's between you and God as far as what your decision is. I can't call that one. I cannot make that call and say, go ahead and have an abortion. I can't say that. But what I can say, no matter how you came to have been impregnated, understand this, that is still another life, regardless of whether or not it was consensual or it was not. You're still taking another life. So you think about it. You let this circulate in your mind and in your conscience, and you ask yourself, is it the fault of the child now? No matter how much pain you may be feeling as a result, is this just a societal remedy? Is this something that society has said, oh girl, you've been raped and you don't have to keep that baby? It's like, are you buying into that just because someone else told you to? Just because your parents or your friends, your girlfriend say, don't have that child, because it's going to have a whole lot of emotional stress on you. Is this the reason you're having the abortion? Or did you go and sit somewhere by yourself and ask yourself and have that soul searching moment and say, I know what happened to me. It was wrong. And I'm saying to you it was wrong. It was sinful. It was criminal what happened to you. And I'm sorry if you are one of those individuals that have been a victim of rape. But I still want you to consider the fact that when you have that abortion, you are indeed taking a life. So, what was greater? You being raped, or you contributing to the murder of another human being? Are they equal? I mean, there's an option. You could keep the child as your own. And that would be a testimony to those women as far as what you've gone through in your life. And this could be something that you could let other women know how you went through that and how you made it through that particular situation with some counseling. Another option that you would have is to go ahead and bring that baby to full term and at least adopt the baby out. And maybe, just maybe, by the time that baby is born, you may have changed your mind about the adoption. That's an option. So, for those women who have consensual sex, who have more than one sexual partner, who have a husband or a boyfriend, as it were, who end up pregnant, now it's your turn. The condom broke, you ended up with a baby, or you're pregnant. You didn't have protected sex and you ended up pregnant. Now you have a choice to make. It's not complicated. It wasn't complicated lying down and having sex. It was enjoyable for that moment that it lasted. So why mask that enjoyment that you have by saying, I'm going to now take the life of another human being because of my pleasure? That's something that you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life. It is murder, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care how many people that you see standing outside of an abortion clinic rooting you on, saying that women have rights. It's their bodies and they can do anything they want to with their bodies. For those of you that might be Christian or say that you're Christian or spiritual or religious, does not the book of Genesis say, be fruitful and multiply? Now, of course, if you're in the right situation, you want to be fruitful and multiply. You want to make sure that the situation is right and that you have enough income and that you have the right man in your life, or that you have someone who loves and or cares about you in your life before you create another life. Because you don't want to be stressed out and by yourself or a single parent. Now, what I want you to know, I want to admonish you today, is that the choice is yours. It's not brother teacher's choice. I'm not trying to coerce you into doing anything. I'm not trying to force you into doing anything. You are right. It is your body. But you know what? It's the child's body too. So while you're having say-so about what that doctor does to you in that examination room when he has you spread your legs wide open and him perform the procedure to take that child's life away. And so they give you some literature and possibly some Catholic priest that you can go talk to for counseling, because you're going to go through depression or what have you when you leave. I want you to know this too. The child should have a choice as well. Why is it that the choice of life and death is in your hands? Let the child get an opportunity to experience life, to enjoy the sunshine, and to breathe the air, and to walk amongst all of the other millions and millions of people upon this earth, and have dreams, and pursue happiness, aspirations, things that they might want to do and things they may want to become in life. Why take that away from another human being just because you want to say you made a mistake? Mistakes. Having a baby is a mistake? I don't think so. It's not a mistake. It's natural. It's supposed to happen. Whether you did it thinking fully about it and the ramifications of what could be the result, whether you thought about that beforehand or not. It's not what happened before or during, but it's what happens in the end that really matters. So ladies, what is your choice today? What say ye concerning abortion? I say, I want to live. You should say the same. That unborn baby that has not come to fruition, they would want to live as well. I believe God would have intended it to be so. This is Brother Teacher. Let me know what your thoughts are. Yahweh love you. And as always, I love you. So long.